Hey everyone, welcome back to the Archives. I'm your host, the Gamer Knight, and we're here again with another playthrough of Ghost of Tsushima. Without further ado, let's proceed. First and foremost, guys, I hope everyone is staying safe this weekend in light of the blizzard that's about to hit the East Coast. I, unfortunately, am one of the residents who live on the East Coast. I cannot disclose the location of my archives for privacy concerns, but I'll leave you with this note about my archives. It's top secret, classified, hushity-hush. Now, I will be, of course, running down everything in terms of what's been transpiring in the entertainment industry, as well as give you guys some really good gameplay for this game and, of course, various other games I'll be promoting on my channel. And, of course, if you enjoy everything in terms of entertainment news, my insight, as well as the types of games I play, please hit that like button and subscribe. Now, without any further delay, we can now proceed with the fun. Man, that guy did not even notice. Alright. He's safe. First, guys, I want to cover, of course, one of the big news articles. Of course, actually, it's referring to a big trailer that was unveiled this week, and that is... Let's see and these guys are too slow. Sorry, Pooch. Alright. Another hostage. Must be another small farmstead. Or a conjoined property on the prefecture. Now, while we make our way to the next hostage, I want to, of course, give you guys the rundown on why I'm wearing my Ahsoka hoodie and, of course, a Star Wars t-shirt underneath. Reason is because the trailer that has dropped from Star Wars Animation's Star Wars Maul the Shadow Lord, which focuses around Darth Maul after the events of Episode 3, or, of course, the series finale in Star Wars The Clone Wars Season 7. For those who don't know who Darth Maul is, he is a Zarbak species from the planet of Dathomir, or Iridonian, technically. His home planet is Iridonia, technically. His tribe were actually colonists that ended up venturing into Dathomir. And, of course, his mother was a Night Sister. A Night Sister is a certain individual that has the ability to use the Force, but uses it in a more dark, arcane, witch-like... You know, like, they're basically a cult of witches in space. Technically. And honestly, their power is immensely terrifying, because the Night Sisters have been known to use archaic magic that is considered, which one is powerful to raise the dead. And that guy was oblivious. But we actually saw Darth Maul's appearance in Episode 1 in Star Wars The Phantom Menace. But everyone hated it because, of course, it had a lot of plot holes. It made no sense about the whole about the idea of the Force, and it contradicts the idea of the Force from the Star Wars original trilogy in Episode 4. Episode 4, A New Hope from 1977. But I can say one thing. Star Wars Episode 1's lightsaber duels were quite fascinating. And I'm really looking and I really hope we see more of that lightsaber combat in new Star Wars spin-offs in such titles including Star Wars Fate of the Old Republic, Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake, and countless other titles that are coming out by Lucasfilms with Dave Filoni as co-president, sitting next to Lin-Wen Reynolds. But to focus on Darth Maul and Darth Maul becoming a Shadow Lord, it focuses around Darth Maul escaping from death by the clone troopers who were of course trying to kill him. This was actually a direct order by Lord Sidious, and this actually takes place just as Order 66 was about to begin. For those who don't know Order 66, it is the clone protocol that has been used to execute rogue Jedi, on paper. And of course, it was a lie. It was basically a secret mind control program that allowed Darth Sidious to, of course, turn the clones against the Jedi. But I keep, of course, getting off track. But the biggest concern is that Darth Maul survived Episode 1. He has, of course, been living in a crazy psychosis after, of course, living in a junkyard planet called Lofa Mina. Afterwards, he would, of course, be reborn as a son of Dathomir by Mother Talzin. Then afterwards, he would begin his path of revenge and build himself a criminal enterprise called the Shadow Collective. After, of course, the Shadow Collective was comprised of 3 specific crime families in the galaxy. The Pikes, the Black Sun, and the Hutts. All 3 of them were, of course, the dangerous criminal syndicates in the galaxy. After this has, of course, shaken some big trees in the Force, Darth Sidious caught wind of it, and decided to deal with it personally. Darth Sidious, of course, dealt with Maul and killed his brother. Yes, Darth Maul had a brother. His name was Savage Opress. Sadly, he did not live to tell the tale. Oh, we got Ronan. Let's do it. But I want to jump back into the whole Darth Maul TV show. Now, I want to jump back to, of course, the whole Darth Maul TV show. It takes place after the events of Episode 3, or technically the Star Wars Episode 7... Star Wars Season 7 series finale. He escapes from a burning Jedi cruiser that he, of course, sabotaged himself. He destroyed the hyperdrive and caused the Jedi cruiser to, of course, crash land on the planet on a small moon of Bopton. And, of course, as I was, of course, divulging further into the show, after the escape, Darth Maul, of course, decides to rebuild his criminal empire from the ground up. And because of this, we have a few things that are going to happen. In the trailer, I've noticed there was a Twi'lek of a red, of course, kind of skin variety, because this could relate to a one possible Sith apprentice to come from Maul, or new apprentice technically. And her name is, of course, the possibility is Darth Talon. Yes, Darth Talon. Overdid it. Oh. Oh, that's where he is. What the? Ah. Damn you, armor plate. Oh. You dirty. Oh. Oh, I had it. Okay, that's it. Oh. Oh. I think the guy's up there. Really? You basically just giving yourself up to me. You think you can run? Sorry. All out of mercy. Now I want to jump back to the whole what we would be expecting in the Darth Maul spin-off series. Everything we know is that it takes place after the events of Star Wars, the Clone Wars Season 7, and he rebuilds his empire from the ground up, his criminal enterprise called the Shadow Collective, with the hopefully remaining crime syndicates that can maintain a fragile alliance. On top of that, he's hunted by the Empire. In the trailer, I noticed there was a number of Inquisitors that are going to be hunting Darth Maul, sent on behalf of the Emperor himself. And this opens up the biggest avenue possible because, one, the release schedule is starting from April 6th of this year, and we're getting 2 episodes every Monday through the month of April, all the way down to Star Wars Day, which is aka May the 4th be with you. I will definitely be playing a lot of Star Wars games that day. Both ones that are canon to the Star Wars universe, and those that, of course, are considered non-canon. But I highly doubt that, because there are a number of specific characters that, of course, deserve to be canonized when I played their games. Like, for example, Star Wars Republic Commando. That one was an old game based from 2002. I remembered playing it on my old Xbox, and it takes place as you playing as a clone commando named Delta 38. After, of course, Delta 38 leads an elite squad of clone Delta Squad. But I actually digress. I also want to tell you what's the big things to expect from the Star Wars spin-off series, Maul Shadow Lord. We of course have Inquisitors hunting him down. We have the possibility of Darth Talon being Darth Maul's apprentice. And here is the big one. The big ask that Dave Filoni will ever give us is going to be here and now. And that is, yes, will Darth Maul go up against Darth Vader? The epic showdown, the biggest fight that I'll ever see. You can't get closer than this to get a canonized version of Darth Maul versus Darth Vader. to settle who will actually win in a fight once and for all. Will Vader win, or Maul? Or Maul will be hailed as a, of course, the true apprentice of the Sith. But we'll have to find out on April 6th, or May the 4th be with you. Yeah, that's the big takeaway from the trailer. Speaking of trailers, I also want to cover the additional trailer that has dropped this week, and that is the Master of the Universe He-Man. And honestly, I found the trailer to be quite compelling. I mean, considering we have an interesting cast for both the protagonists of the story. I mean, I did watch the He-Man, the Master of the Universe TV show spinoff, the animated one, from I believe it was in 2001. I remember watching it as like a Saturday morning cartoon special on Toonami. And boy, those days were fun. But I digress. I say it looks interesting. The CGI looks pretty interesting to follow. Oh my god. I'm sorry. I'm digressing because I'm just trying to find where is the duel under the autumn. Oh, that's where it is. Right below me. Great. But I want to say the trailer does seem very impressive in terms of representation, what to expect. And of course, there is the possible concerns, which is yes, Jared Leto's Skeletor. I mean, I'm not questioning the overall image design of the character, which is pretty impressive. I mean, they did a number with that CGI work on that trailer, pretty good. But the problem and concern is that we are going to be having the matter of the actor himself, which we all know Jared Leto's acting in previous projects have not panned out pretty well. Which is, I'm referring to, yes, Morbius. I did watch it, wasn't a fan. I mean, I liked the character, like, I just didn't like the actor who portrayed it. I would have gone with a way better, oh my god, meant to say, way better actor. And honestly, I feel like there was no real recollection on which specific time it was in. It was hard to keep track which it was. One part of me had said it was the Venom universe, and then another part of me said it was the, like, a totally different universe entirely. Kind of like Madam Web, where, yes, Madam Web, I didn't see it, but I definitely know that if it had no ties to the MCU, I will not watch. Like Craven. And honestly, don't get me wrong, I liked Russell Crowe's performance, but I think the whole story of it really made no sense to me. But now, we're about to face off against another Ronin. Let's, of course, continue back to the story after I deal with this ruthless mercenary. Alright, let's do this. Dirty. What? No way. I dodged that. More skilled, but this is not a dance. Alright, that's it. Sorry about that. I just had a thing with my neck. I also want to cover some other additional stories that of course been covering, which I want to jump back to the whole Jared Leto acting thing. Yes, his acting has not been as well recommended. If you look back at his previous works, not only Morbius, what else? Oh yeah, Tron Ares. Although I heard his performance was bad, but I haven't seen Tron Ares myself, but I would actually want to see the overall story and see how bad it was actually from my point of view. But, oh, incoming patrol. Let's deal with these guys. Well, that's that. One of them got away, so I'll let him live to tell the tale. Now, next stop, Omi Village. Oh wait, I think there might be one more Ronin hiding somewhere. Ah, there it is. Alright. Let's ride our way over. Now, I want to, of course, cover the additional stories that have been circulating. One of which is, will we get Star Wars Jedi 3 this year? In recent events this week, I was actually listening to a podcast called Kinda Funny Gaming, and one of the devs who, of course, works in the entertainment industry says there might be a possible release of Star Wars Jedi 3. Just take the, of course, third game in the Cal Kestis storyline. But sadly, this is only just speculation. I mean, true, it is like it's been 3 years since we had Star Wars Jedi Survivor drop, and it's starting to question will it drop this year, but I can say for certain that I find it to be too soon for it to drop. And, oh, we got incoming. We got a hostage. Okay. Let's see if I can. Actually, I got one idea that would work. Let's see if I can draw them out. And that's that.
こっちにいます。
動くな。
このご恩は決して忘れません。
もう安全だ。
お受け取りください。
Alright. Hostage is safe. Now let's continue. What was the story I want to cover? Yeah. Yes. Now I remember. I assume you all, of course, everyone has, of course, mentioned that. Actually, let me just dive back to what I was saying about the Star Wars Jedi 3 possibly dropping this year. I can say for certain that it may not drop this year because I find it a little bit too soon for me personally, and I want to see it drop with the PS6, which, of course, I want to, of course, cover what has been transpiring. I was listening to an article from Destin on YouTube, and apparently he is saying that we might be getting a delay that might be a little bit too soon to expect the next gen consoles, and that is that the PlayStation 6 may drop in 2028 or 2030. Which, I mean, yes, it is kind of sad that we're not getting a next-gen console. Oh, these guys have no respect for the dead. Last chance, pal. Let's see who that was.
なぜ宋が狙われた？狙いは何だ？傷口が浅い。拷問を受けたな。猛虎の求めに応じなかったようだ。ちぎれた花びら、泥。何か隠すために土を掘ったのか。何かを命がけで守ったようだ。見つけてやらねば。
The burden of theft. I want to jump back to, of course, the article in regards to the whole delay with the upcoming consoles, which, yes, it's because of everyone having to deal with the whole RAM shortage. It's been constantly been circulating for like months, and yes, it's been sad. But I like to be very optimistic in light of this news, and yes, it is sad that we're not getting an, of course, next-gen console next year, but I can, of course, prepare for, like, what's the best example? Oh yes, hope for more titles to be dropping on PS5. More titles to be dropped on PS5, that's more joy to me. Because yes, this ninth generation in the console gaming has been very, very, well, underwhelming. Not on the PS5 side. We had, of course, a large number of titles that have, of course, wowed the industry. And that is, yes, from titles such as God of War, Ragnarok, and there's Spider-Man 2, Ghost of Yotei, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. Oh yeah, Death Stranding 2. Not only that, but also we're getting more spin-off titles, including Marvel's Wolverine dropping this year. And etc. and etc. etc. for hopefully for years to come, in light of the delay for the next-gen console, the 10th generation console to be precise. But all in all, I say we just hope we get more games. But in terms of like Xbox's side, yes, it has been very weak. I'm referring to, of course, the launch lineup for Xbox. They primarily relied on their multi-platform. Oh, incoming. Oh, crap. Okay, that does it. Come on. Alright. Wasn't my best work, but all in all,
ありがとう。
I
安
saved the
全なところ
hostage.
へ抜かれてないぞ。
どうぞこちらをお受け取りください。
Okay, that bird is getting annoying. Now, I want to, of course, cover additional stories that have been circulating recently. From my last episode, I have mentioned that Ryan Hurst will be playing as Kratos from God of War. But there is actually more recent news in light of that. That is addition to the cast for God of War. And that is Teresa Palmer. Teresa Palmer is going to be reprising the role as Lady Sif. For those who don't know, she's an Australian actress who has taken numerous roles within Hollywood, reprising in I Am Number 4, playing as Number 6. I believe she also was in the live-action spin-off movie called The Sorcerer's Apprentice. What? Sorry, Birdie. You gotta go. Now, as I was saying, of course, she will be taking the role as Lady Sif in the God of War series. But in addition, there's also another member that's going to be taking the role in the Norse mythology spin-off God of War from the actual game, God of War 2018. And that is, of course, Max Parker from the Netflix TV series Boots, which has, of course, been cancelled. But Max Parker, who, of course, was in the spin-off series Boots, will be taking the role as Heimdall. Which I'm not sure about Max Parker's acting. I mean, I haven't really seen Boots. I heard it was pretty bad. But I can see if there's a possibility for him to actually fill the role of Heimdall, which is actually not a bad idea, but Hollywood's Hollywood. Amazon chooses who they want to actually play on the role. But that's as much as I can definitely, of course, give you in terms of God of War's live-action TV show spinoff. Also, I do want to also cover very, very controversial news that has been circulating, and it affects me as a console gamer. Well, long-time console gamer. Still a console gamer, but still kind of relatively new to PC gaming. And that is, of course, the YouTuber or modder called Xenix. She is from China. She has actually she has taken apart 3 major consoles. She has broken down 3 major consoles that have been, of course, very controversial, and that is, yes, the PlayStation 5, the Xbox Series X, Series S, and finally the Nintendo Switch 2. She has, of course, taken them apart piece by piece and used the components from each console on a 3D printed sort of shell, along with a cooling system that's built from a HomePod, that's built from a Apple HomePod. And finally, yes, and using a very high dense cooling system to run all three consoles. I mean, it runs well, as the description was describing the console, but it can run one game at a time, and it looks pretty impressive. The design looks really something from like something more from Cyberpunk universe. Oh crap! Oh. Sorry, big guy. Now, let's deal with this Ronin. I was gonna say, pretty impressive console, but all in all, I have to say, if that thing actually was on retail right now, I would actually buy it. That's how much I can probably hope for it. Ronin. Oh. You need to press photo mode. Ronan. They have no sense in manners. Also, I want to hit you guys with some very major bad news within the gaming industry, and that is Ubisoft's overall strategy, how they're basically shooting themselves in the foot. For those who do not know, this week, Ubisoft has shuttered the doors on 2 studios that they own, and canceled 6 games and delayed several others. One of which that was canceled was the long-awaited, that I hoped that they would have actually completed, was the Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake. What I'm referring to, yes, it's the remake from the original game, from the original Xbox, and I have to say, that game was the first game I played at my uncle's house on his Xbox when I was a kid, and this hits me hard, because I love that game. I still play it today, and...
お目にかかれて光栄の極み。さあ始めましょう。あっちを構えてください。
引く意思はないのか。
約束は約束。浪人であろうと果たさねばなりません。好
きにしろ。
A man with no fear and chooses to keep his word. Honorable to the end. Well, I'll make it simple for you. Since you're an honorable man on this matter, I'll give you my quote. Manners make it man. Let's finish this.
今引けば生きて返してやる。
僭越ながら怒っ
来世では誠の武人となれ。浪人を放っておることは相まみえなかった。麦谷の奉仕ならば居所を知っておる。
Under Mugi Cove. Alright, now I gotta get back to him. Well, I still got a lot of stories to cover, which I want to jump back to. Mugi Cove. I mean, oh my god. I meant to say Ubisoft's overall strategy, how they're basically shooting themselves in the foot, which I mentioned that they also shut down the Prince of Persia and canceled the entire Yes, Prince of Persia Sands of Time has been canceled. It has been a real hit. It's been a really big title that's been I've been holding dear since I was a kid. And I find that this strategy is not really strategically sound in terms of a video game company, because they have been, of course, been lacking creativity in their studio. And, well, let's just face it, their leadership structure is without doubt the most poorly designed structure I've ever seen. And I will say that the... Oh, diving back to what I was saying in regards to the Ubisoft shutting down 6 other games, not just, of course, Prince of Persia: Sands of Time, but they also have confirmed major details that the Watch Dogs series is now dead and buried. Yes. So no Watch Dogs 4, no Watch Dogs Legion spinoff, nothing. It's sickening how Ubisoft's strategy is basically shooting themselves in the foot. In light of the 6 games that have also been cancelled and several delays, including the Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag spinoff being now delayed to 2027, I hope we get the reveal soon because a lot of people are not happy about this. Even the financial markets are unhappy with this news because with the cancellations, their stock has severely plummeted. It is the lowest stock price I've ever seen. It was like 0.88 cents. Sorry. Something went down the wrong windpipe. As I was saying, it's been pretty saddening how this company, they used to be on top of the world. Now they have sunken down to the lowest of the record. I mean, some of their titles have actually done poorly, but they've actually got back up and proved to be pretty playable in 2026. I'm referring to specific titles as Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which is the Viking spin-off series. Although the story was not my cup of tea, I did find the overall gameplay quite well brutal. It really shows off what it means to be a Viking. It was awful. I'll call that a makeup for my F-up. Now I want to jump back to Ubisoft's situation with their stocks not only dropping, but I remember some of their bigger titles that they actually used to be pretty big. Not just Assassin's Creed, not just Ghost Recon Breakpoint, Ghost Recon Breakpoint had a bad launch, but it got back up, and it's now the most fun for a military shooter. For third person. And I hope, of course, that we get to see a first look at Ghost Recon Project Over, which is the long-rumored and awaited first-person shooter Ghost Recon that we have not gotten since 2007, I believe it was. I remember playing actually Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter 1 and 2. Those are like the first I played the franchise, but I don't know. I
手
like
先
the
の
third
すげ
person
がさし
a
は
little
全
bit
て倒した
小
better.
次郎
More
も知ってお
specifically,
りました
Breakpoint
やはり
Wildlands.
このようなものではないので
Future
す
戻っ
Soldier
てきたのか
さようです
was really
直
kind of a
々に
letdown.
あなたを手にかけ
I
る
mean,
た
its
め
ending was
近
pretty
江
bad.
寺の洞で待つと
Kind of
申
leaving
してお
it
り
very
ました
open-ended for a
近
cliffhanger.
江は我が故郷だそれを知ってのことか
お気をつけくださいシダの呪いを受けた鎧は持ち主に力を与えます
好みで確かめよう
何とぞご武運を
But aside from that, Ubisoft is truly needing some financial help. I mean, I don't even know if PlayStation wants to buy him, but if there's a rumor that they would actually buy the company, I would say this would be a great opportunity because with Sony's entire empire being that, of course, that it's being hailed as one of the best console on market, which of course I'm referring to the PlayStation 5. If Sony were to buy Ubisoft, they would of course be able to turn that studio around and own all the IPs and actually make them visually, graphically insane, and of course relinquish the whole recycle and refurbish their digital assets, which I'm referring to, of course, Assassin's Creed's pretty much copy and paste routine that they got going on. And course, hopefully, if well, actually no, there's no hope for a Star Wars Outlaws sequel because that. I mean, I did play the game. I played it on my PS5, and I'll be honest, it was actually quite fun. Although, yes, graphically, it had a few bugs here and there that's kind of stuck out, but in the end, it was canon, and I kind of liked the story. But I would have gone this if they had the opportunity to do like Star Wars Outlaws 2. They would have it set probably like 5 or 10, like 5, maybe 10 years after the events of Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. And we get to see K-Vess take on the galaxy in a different way. Now that the Empire's gone, and that Imperial remnants, as well as the New Republic, are all against you. And that, of course, we have the possibility that K-Vess may actually take on new crime syndicates, as well as work with the New Republic to take on. Oh, slaughtering people on the road. Kinda sick. Two birds, one blade. Next up. As soon as I grab the supplies. It's a long ways away. But I want to cover the additional stories before I decide to fast travel over. The Ubisoft strategy, yes, I want to jump back to it. They really need a golden ticket. If Sony's willing to extend that hand to actually buy out the company, I would say maybe. I mean, they already own Bungie. These guys just bother me on the road. Come on, I just cleaned my sword, dude. Stay down. Now, aside from the Ubisoft situation that has been pretty well, not great at all. But there is some, of course, additional news that was covering around certain events, which is the Xbox Developer Direct this year, the like showcase that they were showing off, like a few games that have been going to be dropping for this year. One of them is actually they were only showing off 4 games. One was Forza Horizon, which is honestly not my cup of tea. I mean, racing games, they're not really like real overall best type of games to go on. I mean, I did actually watch that racing simulator game, Gran Turismo, which is, I'd say, pretty authentic in terms of a racing game. But all in all, I'm not that much of a guy who's into racing games, unless it's like ones that are like Death Racing or like the Death Race movie. I think I jumped too soon on that one. Okay, that's and again. And like a get underneath. And you're dead. not the Mongols.
助けて
I'm a dog person.
動くな
I hate seeing that happen to dogs. I'm like
助かり
pretty
ました
much the
道中
video game
気をつけ
version of
どうぞ
Jump. Like
何かのお
technically,
役に立ててくださ
I
い
say that because I've been playing like I've been playing like video games that have been like in the combat style that I've been inspired by watching John Wick, Hopeful, and of course the old Guard series. And honestly, those movies I actually find pretty enjoyable. And of course I watched almost pretty much all of them during both the pandemic and after the pandemic. And they're fun. Very, very, very interesting. But I also did read the Old Guard series, the graphic novels. So far, I read volume 1 and volume 2. I have yet to get volume 3 yet. Which I hope that we get to see volume 3 for the Old Guard. I've actually really want to see how the story pretty much extends in the Netflix universe. Let's do it. Oh, dirty. Ugh. I hate those flaming guys. Those flaming arrow guys. Get it. Sorry. Now back to what I was saying. In addition to the Xbox Direct 2026. Forza, Motor Horizon, that was one of the titles. Second was I think a sci-fi Japan studio game, which I didn't get the full title yet. I was of course listening to it, but I had to cut the direct short because well, I was actually watching during my lunch break and I had to cut it short because break's over. I am a knight of the gaming realm, of course, during my nights, but by day, I'm just your average Joe working a 9-to-5 job, paying his rent and his mortgage. But, all in all, let's, of course, jump back to the whole situation. Okay, these Ronin are really how many guys does Rizzo have in his command? Because I'm pretty sure I've killed I'm pretty sure I killed half of his company. Last chance to run. Alright, have your own way. Now, I think we're done traversing our way. We'll make our way a little bit closer. But I want to jump back to what I was discussing with the Xbox Direct 2026 showcase. And of course, not only we have of course a Japan studio showcase, which was pretty interesting. It's based around a sort of like a spoof knockoff of a Pokemon universe that's set in a sort of apocalyptic universe in Japan. Something involving a blight and a wolf, which was not bad. I mean, the gameplay actually looked pretty interesting, but the last title that something involving like a walking, talking kilns. It honestly made no sense. I don't know why that they showed that title. I was disappointed with that reveal. I was really kind of hoping to see Gears of War D-Day drop a dev look, like, you know, get a first look at some gameplay of Gears of War E-Day, which is what everyone on the Xbox community has been begging. I am a retired Xbox gaming player. I mean, I still have an Xbox Series X. I just want to really extend my library to more exclusives on the platform.
堺人
Here we go. Gojira.
待ちわびたぞ
Let's settle this.
お主の鎧修羅の呪いを受けておると聞いた
信じてくれるか。
この世にあってはならぬものだ
Gojira, you are dirty. You are dirty.
幾千もの人を切ってきた。どれも甘美な思い出や。
1,000, please.
奉仕の申
That's
す通り
child's play. Ah, Gojira, you're dirty.
Yo ようやくお前が俺を殺してくれるのか。
それが望みか
It is done. The end of Kojiro. Raging storm. Catchy. Alright. Next stop, Omi Village. We have to head there to, of course, acquire the armor of Clan Asai. While we make our ride over, I want to, of course, give you guys a rundown of what's been also. I just want to jump back to the whole Xbox showcase. Even though we didn't get Gears of War, we still get one title to really expect from Xbox in 2026, which I hope we still get Gears of War E-Day dropping soon this year, and that is Fable. It made its debut with actual gameplay, and I gotta say, it looks pretty good. I would actually be playing. I will definitely be playing Fable come 2020, come fall of 2026. Now, aside from the Xbox showcase, we of course had some more recent news in terms of Gears of War E-Day, and that is we got more unveiling story details that we're going to be getting to play as Marcus Phoenix, a younger version with him getting to meet Dom, meaning Dom Santiago, Corporal Dom Santiago. How they, of course, met during the war. How they, of course, had their camaraderie, and how the story of the Locust will come to be, and we get to see a more deeper, more aggressive look into what a Locust actually looks like up close and personal, with higher fidelity and better graphics on a Locust grunt, and it's quite terrifying. Oh,
どこだ
the clan Sakai armor is gone.
不届き者め
Oh,
若様
if you remember her, she was in our first episode.
亡くなられた
We
かと
only saw her from Jin Sakai's flashback
急ぎ戻ったぞ
during his father's funeral.
久しいなユリ
お疲れのようで飯の支度を
飯は結構だ猛虎勢が村を通ったはずだが変わりはないか
毒が来たのに私が追い払いました
父上の鎧を取りに戻った
菰田ではお使いにならなかったのに
あれからいろいろとあってな
鎧は隠しております
You take. Wow, ghost from the past.
さあこちらへああ体が重い太一に取ってこさせましょう墓地にいるはずです
そこで何を
土を鳴らし毒草の世話をさせています毒は良いネズミよけになるのですよ
一人ではないのだな
志村様はご創建で
ああ猛虎に捕らえられていたがお救いいたした
どなたか他に手を貸す者は
おるぞ政子殿だ
まあ幼き頃からおの子と稽古していましたからね
いつか司祭を聞かせてくれ
政子様だけですか
他には石川先生も
もう何年も無沙汰しております相変わらず尊大なお振る舞いなのですか
ああ未だになだが弓の腕は別格だ
ご本人もいろんないかと
酒井様お戻りで
急ぎなのだユリの世話をしてくれておるそうだな
世話されてるのはこちらの方です
太一や鎧を持ってきておくれ
頼む俺は墓に参ろう
草むしりが住んでおらんと
申し訳ありません
若様が戻られたというのに見苦しいではないすぐに済ませます
Wow. Truly, this game is a marvel from 2020. From 2020, oh my god. I meant to say that. Did I say that? Oh wait, I was right the first time. But, still. For a game that's 6 years old, I can never get tired of this. Reflect on legacy. They always leak through. Oh, there's the third.
「
あと解いて難儀の末に帰りくれば木の実昔のままにてありける。
Alright, let's get the armor. Oh yeah, might as well, since we're walking, I want to tell you guys what I got planned in terms of like this year for Marvel. In light of Doomsday, which yes, it is the official hashtag for both Dune Part 3 and Avengers Doomsday, both dropping at the same day. And in light of of course recent trailers, I have not witnessed them on social media. I've been trying to avoid them on social media. And if I were to actually view them, which I want to say right now, I want to say right now that yes, I know that spoilers are inevitable, as Thanos would say. But, well, actually no, he would say, I am inevitable. That's what spoilers are. They are inevitable. But I can actually lie to myself, which yeah, I know. Lying is actually a pretty bad thing, but I can lie to myself that the images that are shown off from new trailers are deep fakes. But let's continue to, oh wow, the armor. That looks really unique design. Jeez. This must be hard for Jin.
Jin,
Oh no.
手を貸さんか。お前は死ぬのが主情のためだ。
Oh jeez. That is crazy. Damn. That is badass. Wear the armor of Clan Sakai proudly. Jin.
若様。
どうした？
いえ、ただめまいがしただけ。今若様がてっきり。
出てこい、卑怯者め。
中へ入れ。
龍蔵様の読み通り、里帰り。
裏切り者、無事に戻れると思うな。
ケイマの成果を見せてやろう。死ね
ユリ。
That's that.
あ、殿。
怪我はないか？
島の民よ。また槍川が面倒なことに。
槍川の反乱は二昔も前。あやつらは猛虎の手下だ。
そうでしょうとも。あのような戦いぶり。まこと恐ろしい。はあ、休ませてください。
湖の木へ参ろ
ええ。ぜひ。
毒草を育てていると言ったな。
ネズミよけでございます。
量を増やせば人も殺せるか？
人に使うなど
どうなのだ？
強力な毒はひどいものです。
うん。
ああ、 殿。しばし座りましょう。堺の者は毒など使いません。
猛虎と戦った堺がいようか。使える手立ては使わねばこれ以上の犠牲は払えぬ。
猛虎が若様を変えたのですね。
この世が変わったのだ。
That's a good point.
母から教わったのは薬草と死にす
The
ら
way of the
至らしめ
samurai
る
must
毒草。
adapt or die.
食べさせねばなりませんが、いかにして毒を盛るのです。
吹き針を使う。
Oh.
唐国の僧がある源氏の武者に伝えた武器だ。どうだユリ。
良き心を失われますな。
もちろんだ。
お生まれになる前から仕えてきた身です。断れましょうか。
まずは
That is
筒
one
の
hell
素
of a
材がいる
promise
な。
to,
うん。
to hold up
湖の向
to.
こう岸、漁師の家のそばに足が生えているはずです。昔、足を束ねて小さな船を作りましたね。
龍蔵とな、紐すがら壇の浦の戦ごっこをしておった。
ご用心を。夜に明かりがついておりました。誰かいるはずです。
案ずるな、足を取ってすぐに戻る。
Or, of course,
ここで待っております。
could be Mongols or bandits. Or, of course, probably the three that I just killed were just a scouting party. I want to jump back to what I got going on in terms of like getting ready for Marvel's Avengers Doomsday. I am not only binging the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe from top to bottom in chronological order, starting from Eyes of Wakanda. Yes, that is actually canon to the MCU, and it's only like 4 episodes. I will say it's pretty impressive. Well, that's
助けて。
待たせてしまったな。
that made up from my
これ
effort.
はなんて果報者だ。
行け、達者でな。
これをお受け取りください。
As I was discussing before I was rudely interrupted by the Mongols, that of course I'm already completed One Piece, watching the Marvel Cinematic Universe in chronological order. Not only that, but I'm also watching some of the non-MCU related spin-offs, which I'm referring to as Deadpool, the Spider-Man movies, from like Spider-Man, Rami's universe, and the Andrew Venom. That's a debate for me personally because it is a part of the MCU technically. But I'll be honest, I'm debating whether or not to rewatch Venom: Last Dance. It wasn't great, but I can say it was 10 times better. Actually, no, it was at least more watchable than watching Kraven the Hunter, which I'm not shaming Aaron Johnson Taylor, I think that was his name, but as I was saying before, it might
漁師
be
の
not
家は
as
賊どもに乗っ取られておる。
okay.
加減はせんぞ。
Bandits.
お前を殺して飲む酒はうまいな。
I'm also not just, of course, only watching all those films, but also planning on watching the X-Men. The X-Men movies, Deadpool 1 and 2, and countless other projects that are related to the MCU, including some of the spin-off shows, including Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Agent Carter, and all the way up to finally being Spider-Man Brand New Day, which drops this year. I hope that, of course, we get to see where Tom Holland is in terms of like getting ready for like Spider-Man to be involved in Doomsday, and I really want to see how the story breaks down. I'm avoiding, of course, all spoilers on social media, and oh, I think that's what. And of course, chronologically watching the MCU films and non-MCU related films in order, minus a couple that are in the X-Men movies, and that is X-Men Days of Future Past and X-Men Dark Phoenix, and X-Men Apocalypse. Totally forgot about that. But other than, of course, that, I'm also going to be replaying a couple of Marvel video games to really get myself, immersed into the idea of, like, feeling like you're in the MCU, and that is, like, playing... Oh, we got patrol. Can't let them attack Omi Village. I normally leave one man to tell the tale, but I don't know. When they're that close to Omi Village, just know there's gonna be no survivors. I don't want to jump back to the whole, like, really immersing myself into the MCU, like, playing games that make me really in tune with being, like, an actual superhero. And the following titles are as follows. First is the Marvel's Avenger video game from Square Enix. And don't get me wrong, I actually knew the game was actually going to be pretty bad, but would I ever get an opportunity to play as an Avenger? Any other opportunity that was, like, of course, pre-Disney acquisition. And of course, post-Disney acquisition, that's kind of like a long wait to get an immersive video game to make you feel like an actual Avenger, to play as Black Widow, Iron Man, Captain America. I mean, Square Enix, when they showed off the game, it was appalling in terms of, like, graphic design. Story was interesting, but very lackluster, because they made, like, almost a looter shooter, only to play online at all times, to, like, both play the, like, side missions and campaign. Really lackluster, and of course, everyone really wanted to always put on the costumes and skins to play as Captain America from the MCU, or of course the costume design for Iron Man for the Mach 3 design from Iron Man 2, Iron Man 3, so on and so forth. Okay, Yutiko's sad for some reason. But we'll jump back to the whole immersing myself into the MCU in video game form as soon as we deal with this at hand. Okay. What is going on?
若様、失礼いたしました。殿のことを思い出しておりました。
俺は忘れたい。
殿 なりの情があったのですよ。
もう良いだろう。吹き筒と針が揃った。あとは毒だけだ。
では参りましょう。こちらへ。薬草を育てるために作った小さな野営があります。そして毒草の獅子をも殺す強さです。
猛虎を殺せる強さにしてくれ。
若様と遠出できるとは。
馬の乗り方を教えてくれたな。あの子馬で。
若様は姿勢よく蔵にまたがって将軍様のようでした。
Mostly leading to death, and sometimes it's not pretty. I say that in terms of like various poisons. I haven't seen them in real life, but I definitely have seen them in movies, and they're not perfect.
あらあら、若様。
Of course, hearing about
どうしたのだ。
cyanide.
若様はここで志村様を殺めかけたのですよ。
何？
確か3つか4つの頃、志村様が木立の扱い方を教えてくださっていたのに、若様は蝶々に夢中で。
思い出した。叔父上の目を打ったのであったな。
志村様と殿は息ができぬほど大笑いされておりました。
父上が笑ったとはな。
お母上が病になられる前は若様にも笑いかけておいででしたよ。こちらです。
御座と焚き火、野宿するのか。
いろんな薬草を探す時だけです。では毒草を集めましょう。
休んでおれ。俺が積もう。
種は毒です。食べないで。
子供扱いはするな。
お母上に花を贈られましたね。
母上は綺麗に飾ってくださったな。
それで十分。こちらへお持ちください。
待たせたな。
いいえ。まず種を抜き取り、実を砕き、のり状にしたら針を浸します。
効き目は強いのか。
納得いただけるかと。できました。
この道に合ってるのか。
ばあさんの野営がこの辺りにあるんだよ。
若様、誰か来ます。
そこにおれ。毒の効き目を確かめるか。
あの侍、わしらの仲間を殺し回ってる。
あいつの首を取れば
褒美をたんまりもらえるな。
もう近いか。方角を調べてみる。このどこかだ。
急げ。
That's how you do it. Oh, jeez. What the hell? Oh, that is sick. But also quite deadly.
お怪我はありませんか。
案ずるな。始末はつけた。
若様は成人でいらっしゃいましたね。
俺もたまに忘れる。そろそろ屋敷に戻ろう。
その前にこの場所を片付けましょう。
あまり無理をするでないぞ。
まあ子供扱いとは老体のできることは心得てます。
他の毒も作れるのか。
全く落ち着きのないお方。もう一つございます。混乱と怒りを起こす毒が。しかし素材は何だったでしょう。
思い出してくれ。役に立ちそうだ。
何だったかしら。赤くて落ち葉。いえ、花びらがあったはず。
Alright. While Yuriko thinks it out,
あ、お
we
花。
got mutant blood sugar. Tsushima's camp.
一族老頭殺されたらしい。
何かご入り用でしょうか。
フグは己の腕の一部と思え。体の芯を使って振るうのだ。そう。おお、酒井、よくやったな。お前の働きで城を奪えるだけの兵が集まった。
後ほどユナにお会いください。
褒美の支度は済ませてある。本土からの遠兵がじき島に着く。だがその前に早馬が届いてな。石膏がハーンの下地を手に入れた。竜蔵に当てたものだ。菅笠衆が我が陣に攻め入るようだ。
竜蔵は今どこに？
この近く、高野山。
Fort Koyasan?
お前が行かずともよいのだぞ。
かつての友です。私が切らねば。
では任せよう。
Okay, if
こちら
the,
は戦支度を済ませておく。
if the Straw Hats go, then the Mongols will have no mercenaries for hire.
ユナも来るやもしれぬな。
Let's talk to Yuna.
全部は無理だからね。
何を置いてきゃいい？
いろんなもんだよ。家事の道具は本土で買おう。
行くのか？
志村様のおかげさ。明日の夜明けには船を出せる。
今一度力を借りたい。竜蔵が高野山砦に潜んでおる。
無理だ。
Ah,
悪く思わないで。こればっかりは頼みを聞けない。腹を空かせたまま必死に金を集めてきたのは本土で生き直すためなんだ。棒には触れない。
急に立たずとも竜蔵を撃ってから出立すればよかろ
これはあんたの戦だろう。巻き込むな。
I understand.
私はタカと新しい地で生きていかなくちゃ。
She's doing what she has to
Nada
to
but
protect her
Tommy.
family. That's
う。
understandable.
面倒をかけたな。礼を言う。安らげるよう願う。
あんたも。
Safe travels.
酒井様。
ユナの言うことを聞き励むのだぞ。
はい、ではお達者で。
夜影に紛れて一人で撃つさ。
奴らのことをずっと探してんだ
Ready
な。
to leave.
全く足取りがつかめない。どうしてお前は
待っていろ竜蔵。
Koyasan. It's a long ways away, but let's fast travel there. Sorry. Pressed the wrong button. Very close. Oh, super close. Get to a high vantage point, survey the field. That's the fort. Best to stay out of this. Best to stay out of sidelines. Okay, good vantage point without being spotted. I swear, it's never easy when riding on horseback. This range usually hard to spot plants, of course. Well, yeah.
高野山砦裏切り者の住か。
This is it.
砦を探るか。
Alright, time to scout the perimeter. And let's make sure I am fully armed and ready for bear. Let's see. Alright.
もう来めえ。我が物顔でのさばっておれ。
酒井様、お待ちを。
Real great.
見つかるぞ。
お一人では無謀です。
Taka?
姉さんが行かないなら、せめて俺が。
これは戦なのだぞ。
共に立ち上がり、島を守ろうと誓ったではありませんか。でしょう、クロード様。
猛虎とは戦わせぬぞ。もし何かあれば。
ならば敵の目を引きます。幾人か釣れれば戦いやすいでしょう。
Okay, but...
わかった。ただし追われたら直ちに本陣に逃げ込め。
決してしくじりません。
ではそろそろ行くぞ。
Okay, I'll say this. Taka's got some nerve.
こっちだ。ついてこい、汚い野良犬ども。志村様に所在を告げてやる。お侍が押し寄せてくるぞ。みんな一網打尽にされてしまえ。
Nice job, Taka. They left a small crew at the front, so I can just sneak in, make my way in, kill anyone who
タ
gets in
カ、
my
よ
way.
くやった。無事に陣まで戻れ。龍蔵はおらぬ。おそらく門の向こうだ。
One down, probably another 100 to go.
Here, you!
Nice and quiet.
Tindwan!
Oh crap. Why'd you Come on, give me a break, please. What is with these guys?
Ямар ч удмаар болоо. Хийсэн хүнийг нь олж ир. Тэнд байна.
Man, will they all just shut up? Frickin' snitches. I'm tired of giving out stitches. Night night. Crap.
Tische! Han!
See ya. Feel the sting. Man, this guy is oblivious. Sometimes can be oblivious to what is surrounding them. But, well, let's show them that the ghost can get to them in their dreams. Not a good night's sleep can get you. Not a good night's sleep can save you from me. Right?
竜蔵
待ってたんだぜ。
It isn't good to see you.
なぜ来たか
Time
わ
to
かる
finish what we
あ
started.
あ、居所はあえて漏らしたからな。ハーンと会ってくれ。
Meet.
聞く耳は
What are
持
you
た
talking
ん
about?
よくも裏切ったな。
島を守りたくないのか。切り合う意味なんてないんだぞ。
いや竜蔵
Butcher.
意味はある。
The home that you swore to. Ah, you dirty.
酒井様、酒井様、目を開けてください。
タカ
Oh, no.
なぜだ。
あまりに遅いので何かあったかと思い助けに来たんですが見つかって
まずい逃げなければ。
ここで死ぬんでしょうか。
諦めてはならん。縄をほどけ。
Time for an escape.
少しでも緩まれば。
Break free, come on. What? What do you see? Taka? Oh,
Taka.
crap.
耐えるのだ。
Oh, no. I hate getting captured.
馬乳酒馬の父の酒だ。
Is
我
it
が相番
horse
は
milk?
昨日足を折ったゆえ兵に食わせてやった。
Oh my god!
情けより
And
実
your
をと
favorite horse
我らは
to your
似
own
ていると
troops?
思わんか。
That's messed
俺
up.
は武士だ。
Although it's not
い
the
や
first
一
time I've
介の
heard
武士では
of
なかろう。
you doing what you have to
クロ
do.
ードだ。下るよう民を説き伏せろ。さすれば兵を引く。
己に従う気はない。
Ha. Top that.
その言
Take your
葉
offer and stick. And
志
stick it
村
up.
からも来た。戦が終わるというの
That is ugly.
もうこの供物にはならぬ。
誉れ高き一族の中で日陰の身となる辛さよくわかる。英雄となるべき我らがその機会すら得られる。
クロードは英雄だ。
聞いたか。民は己に従う。なぜ救ってやらんのだ。
同士討ちをさせる気か。竜蔵のように。
Sorry, Koten.
だが無駄だ。
No deal. So you can just take your
さ
offer
す
and
がは
shove
クロ
it.
ード。こやつの身は案じておらぬか。殺せ。
What?
逃がしてやる。
What? Why? Okay, Taka. Do what you have to. You have to kill. If you have to kill me, do it. Go to your sister.
逃げよ。
Go, Taka. No, don't do it. It's just a kid. Don't do it. Oh. Oh my god. Oh jeez. Taka.
のせいで
Oh god.
死んだぞ。また選ばせてやる。今度は過つなよ。
Yo, man. That man. Jin, brother, I feel your pain. That is just wow. And Koten, you are a sick man. But I have to continue the unfolding of his story, no matter how painful it is. How am I gonna explain this to Yuna? Time to get out. Come on. Alright.
タチはどこだ。殺してやる。
Time for some payback.
今音がした。目に赤いをやれ。
鈴鹿の仇だ。
Take them out!
まだ死にたくない。裏切り者ども。覚悟しろ。死を持って償え。許さんぞ。裏切り者。
Come on. Is that all of them? Oh no. Yuna? Oh no.
ジン、
ユナ。
さっきハーンと竜蔵を見かけた。タカはどこ？いるんだろう。
Yuna.
あんたを追うって文があったんだ。どこなの？
Oh no. Oh,
なんで？嘘だ！タカ！
ユナ、待て！
タカ！なんで行っちまったのさ？私に黙って。
oh jeez. Oh boy. This is. She lost her only family, her own brother. I can only imagine losing a brother. I come from a family of brothers, and for me to lose one, that will break my heart.
お主に追いつこうとしたのだ。
But what Yuna's going through, it's hard to
ロード
imagine.
に憧れてた
I
から。
could not even imagine personally.
どうしてついて行かせた？
Jeez.
戻るよう言ったが、どうしてもと聞かず。
That is truly, this is truly sad.
この子らしい。
行くぞ。
ここには置いてけない。
Futaka. Take him out!
菅笠衆は終わりだ。あとは竜蔵。
殺してやる。ハーも。
今は次に備えよう。
鷹を埋めなくちゃ。
手伝おう。
Taka didn't deserve to die that way, but honor him.
タカを巻き込む気はなかった。すまぬ。
いい暮らしをさせてやるって誓ったのに。悪いのは私、あんたじゃない。
違う。ハーンや竜蔵、島を奪った猛虎のせいだ。生かしてはおけぬ。タカの敵を討つぞ。
島を出る理由はもうない。行くあてもやることも。だから残る。戦うよ。
まずは本陣に戻りしばし休め。後で会おう。
タカの最後どうだった？
もののふであったぞ。
In terms of seeing Jin Sakai's stories unfolding has been truly something for generations to come in terms of single player games. And I'm afraid this is the amount of time that we have for tonight's episode. I hope you all enjoyed today's playthrough. And if you like my overall insight in gaming articles, as well as everything in the entertainment industry, please hit that like button and subscribe. And as always, the archives are open to you. Thank you, and have a good night.